Hello, 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 hello. Where did I put my little thing? There it is. There it is. Hi, you guys. Um, Good morning. So, just want to talk a bit this morning about anger, anger. Um, you know, when I was, when using and drinking back in my drinking days, I was angry. Boy, I was angry, and I think of lots of times in my life when anger was how I kind of got my way, you know. And when I look at it now and I think, wow, anger, you know, often when I used anger to get my way, I was emotionally about 13 years old. You know, when we get mad and stomp our feet and threaten, um, with anger, threaten whoever we're with that, you know, you made me mad. How old are we when we do that? You know, it's a, but it continues, and for me, it's just it just can't be an option. It isn't an option. Uh, you know, when I'm angry, I'm saying that I'm not accepting life. I'm saying that things need to be different. Uh, I felt twinges of it lately with the what's going on, kind of in our society. But I've recognized that it's been great because when I see it in me, it's like a touchstone. It's like, oh, look at that. There's something I'm not accepting. There's something I'm trying. I'm saying needs to be different instead of life on life's terms, and so yes, anger. I put in a piece here that kind of what brought this to mind this morning. I was on Facebook and I was looking through, and there was a piece the Dalai Lama did a quote on anger, and he said, like anyone else, the Dalai Lama said, I too have anger in me. However, I try to call it anger is a destructive emotion. I remind myself that scientists now say that anger is bad for my health. It eats into my immune system. So anger destroys our peace of mind and our physical health. We shouldn't welcome it or think of it as natural or as a friend. We can be free of anger. So, um, I just wanted to remind my friends who listen to this on a regular basis that thank you for doing that, and that anger, watch for it. Ego will justify anger. Ego will say, oh, it's not my fault I'm angry. It's yours. Right? Have you ever said that? I have. And you know, ego doesn't want to be responsible. Ego just says, that we're victims and we fall into victim. And if we're an addict or an alcoholic, what happens is that anger will often lead us to um, back to the drink or the drug. And because anger often comes with self-pity, and with self-pity we're like, I'll show you, I'll kill me. you know just frig you all, you know you're messing up my life, all that stuff. We have to, everything in the recovery program points us back to what's our part, you know what's our part. And so we look inside for where have we set the ball rolling, and we recognize that that anger is poison for us. It isn't. It may be the dubious luxury of normal men and women, but it's poison for us. So, just wanted to point it out. I know that I have also lived in situations where there was just like with my partner or roommates are angry, and there's like this low grade anger. This just kind of, it's just like just under the surface. And so what do we end up doing? Kind of tiptoeing around, eggshells. Have you ever been in there where you lived in a situation where you're afraid, and you were afraid of somebody's anger? So, being on either side of it is not healthy. It really isn't. So I just wanted to, chat a little bit about anger, and recognize that it's not something, that we can, in our recovery program, what it says is that, we have a prayer: God, save me from being angry. Show me how I can be helpful in this situation. And so always we're looking towards, a higher vision of ourselves, looking towards love or universal consciousness or God or whatever, the 10,000 concepts or words we have for that are. We're looking towards that, a higher vision. How can I be helpful in this situation? How can, you know, uh, guide me and strengthen me, show me what happy to be. Those kind of prayers take us out of anger, and whatever. Anger is often related to us thinking we're going to lose something or not going to get something. So it's selfish and self-centered. So just a little look at anger, and think, you all know, everybody knows that they prefer not to be that way. I know that if I have an angry outburst, and I haven't had one in a long time, but if I were to have one, I would actually have like an emotional hangover after. Even, it would be like, oh gosh, yeah. I'm not saying that there isn't anger in the system and that there aren't safe ways to move it, to deal with it. I'm on in a men's group, and sometimes we help men to go into it, to, and kind of move it, to really touch on that rage that sometimes is there, that has been in there for maybe a long, long time. And there's freedom to look at it that way, in a safe place, in a safe way. But there's no place for, around, in our homes, or with our kids, or or grandkids, having that anger. It's pretty selfish. Anyway, that's it. I'm just going to read from the Daily Reflections book today. No, I'm not. The 24-hour day book. It's funny because I'm done a year of this pretty soon here, and I'm trying to, think, what else should I do? What is it, April the 6th? What else should I continue? Should we read on? And I considered doing, the Daily Reflections book after this. What do you guys think of that? Any comments on that? Daily reflections to start, because I'll be finished a year, and I don't know that I want to do more of this, but I think it would be nice to continue. I mean, the reason I started this in the first place is because so many of us were locked down a year ago, and really confused, and not knowing, what was going on, so I just thought that this would be a nice thing to do every day in this way, and so that's why I started it. So anyway, we're almost finished a year. And what do you guys think about Daily Reflections? It's a really good book, and it's a has a daily message, and it's a yeah. Well, anyway, my thought. Okay, April 6th. Thought for the day. Every alcoholic, it says, has a personality problem. Every alcoholic has a personality problem. Hmm. Um, this book says he drinks or she drinks to escape from life, to counteract a feeling of loneliness or inferiority, or because of some emotional conflict within himself or herself. So he cannot adjust himself to life. Yes, but remember, it does say that it doesn't help to know that we're maladjusted, although we may well be, in the doctor's opinion. His alcoholism is a symptom of his personality disorder. Wow. An alcoholic cannot stop drinking unless he finds a way to solve his personality problem. That's why going on the wagon doesn't solve anything. They used to talk about being on the wagon, the water wagon. And it was That was what we used to say, and then we people would say, "I'm on the wagon." I sit, and we all would say, "Well, the wagon is a vehicle between drunks, so we couldn't go on the wagon. It didn't work." That's why going the wagon doesn't solve anything. That's why taking the pledge usually doesn't work. So in the old days, back when it was written in 1954, people did a pledge. They would sign a pledge, to not drink. Not in they didn't do that in the 12-step world, but outside of that. Was my personality problem ever solved by going on the wagon or taking the pledge? No. and and in the 12 step, we it's not a therapy group. It's never, although we do recover, we do in a way find, um, okay, Carla says she likes that one too. Okay, great, thanks. We do it, we don't call it therapy. It's not therapy, but we do have a personality change. It does really, but it's not based on therapy like conventional. Meditation of the day. God irradiates your life with the warmth of his spirit. Oh, irradiates. Irradiates. Irradiates your life with the warmth of his spirit. You must open up like a flower to this divine irradiation. Loosen your hold on earth, its cares and its worries. Unclasp your hold on material things. Relax your grip, and the tide of peace and serenity will flow in. Relinquish every material thing and receive it back again from God. Do not hold on to earth's treasures so firmly with your hands that your hands are occupied to grasp, or too occupied to clasp God's hands as He holds them out to you in love. Nice symbology, really nice. But I've really found that to be true. That I have to surrender everything, you know, and then it's like the old saying: if set a bird free or set a lover free, if he or she comes back, then she's yours. And if she doesn't, or he doesn't, they never were. And that's the same thing here. He's saying just let everything go, and what's left is we can enjoy. And if we're holding on to stuff, and whether it's people or we just let it go. Let it go. Whether it's family, it doesn't mean that we don't love. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be open to receive God's blessing. I pray that I may be willing to relinquish my hold on material things and receive them back from God. Beautiful. That's nicely worded today. So, again, the talk was on anger. Being free of that, and being aware of it, first of all, I think is part of the beginning. So awareness is power, right? And accepting that we have it. Say, not being against anger, not being mad because we're mad. Saying, just say, oh, okay, recognizing that also that it's almost impossible to um, almost impossible to kind of heal that on our own. Fix myself in a way with my thoughts. And self-knowledge doesn't work for me. Therapy didn't work, but I can be healed and from all of the symptoms of my self-centeredness and selfishness, and through working with others, through acting in love, through um, prayer, through meditation, through consciously having a connection with my higher power. It can be removed. We see the bigger picture. It's like, oh, wow, okay, it isn't all about me. All right, thanks, you guys. Love you so much. Oh, we're going to do a little sit, just a short sit. Now, there's a reason we do this, and I remind you every day that stillness. Be still. Know that I'm God. That's just came out of the Bible. I'm and when I speak of God, by the way, recognize that whatever your word for that is fine. There are millions of concepts, nobody can really describe. We've been giving lots of stories about what God is by religion, and but ultimately this connection that with this what stillness, this isness, this that, know that I am that, it is to be found deep down inside of us. And so we have to sit for that. We have to be still for that. And so take a little time every day to just sit. And as we become more aware of ourselves and more, you know, it's funny because we say deep down inside, but in a way there is no inside and no outside. There's just now. And in the now, we connect with this this power, this consciousness, you know, this thing that can't be described. So this peace that passeth all understanding, it's beyond the intellect. So sitting helps us to be in that. So let's do that for a couple of minutes, literally 2 or 3 minutes, okay? So join me for 2 or 3 minutes for just a real little quiet time. I may speak a little just to bring you into the space. So just sit, relax, let your shoulders drop, let your eyelids close, let your eyes relax inside of your head. Just focus for a minute on your breath. The breath is now. When we focus on the breath, all other thoughts disappear. Just focus on our body for a moment. Bring our awareness, our consciousness into our body. Be here in this vehicle, in this carrier that we live in. Bring our attention to our feet and our calves, our knees, our thighs, our butt, our buttocks, lower back, belly, chest, shoulders. Just be in this space in our body. Feel the energy in our back, in our spine. Beautiful. We have this beautiful, beautiful container that we get to live in. Just be here in this planet, on this space. We're not our bodies. The body is a gift. So just be conscious of it. Give thanks for it. Bring our attention into our neck. And our skull, inside of our head. And we're bring our attention inside of our head and just see how expanded that can go. Just then we become one with the whole space that we're sitting in. Expand into the space, into the room. We're here, now, in this space, in this body, and around and outside of this body. Always in the breath. If there are any sounds, just include them. If thoughts come, just allow them. Gently let them go. If we get attached to the thought or the story, just come back to the breath. Just know that if you've asked in whatever form of prayer that you have, if you've asked to be awakened, to know thyself, that it's happening. We are growing each moment to that awareness, to that consciousness. In our meditation, different paths will be shown to us, different teachers. Little awarenesses will come. We begin to awaken to this moment, to the now. Thank you for joining me for this quiet time. I love you. Just stay in this space as long as you like. Thank you.